My beloved child, before you listen to another word, I want you to stop everything for just 10 seconds and come close to me. Put down your worries, loosen your grip on the fears you have been carrying, and let me hold you in a strong embrace. Breathe deeply. Rest your weary heart against mine. Feel my peace surrounding the places within you that have been aching in silence. I know the tears you never allowed anyone to see. I know the prayers that have grown shorter because disappointment has visited your heart too many times. I know the nights when you stared into the darkness wondering if I still remembered your name. That is why I brought you here today. This message did not appear before you by accident. Before you pressed play, I had already prepared this moment because I saw you standing at the edge of weariness, wondering whether you still had the strength to keep going. But I want you to stay with me until the end, because what I am about to reveal may completely change the way you understand this season of your life. My child, I know there is a quiet exhaustion burning inside you. It is deeper than physical tiredness. It is the kind of weariness that comes from hoping for something year after year and seeing little evidence that anything is changing. You have smiled while your heart was breaking. You have prayed while secretly wondering if your words were disappearing into silence. You have watched other people move forward while your own dreams seemed frozen in time. There were moments when you whispered to yourself, "Maybe this is as far as I am meant to go. Maybe God never intended these promises for me." But I tell you today that the place you call a dead end is often the very place where I begin writing a new chapter. The enemy is not afraid of the excitement you had when your faith first began. It fears your trembling hands that still choose to hold mine after disappointment. It fears your decision to trust me one more time after years of unanswered questions. Many people walk away just before the harvest appears because they mistake resistance for rejection. But I do not want you to become one of those who stop at the threshold of the blessing they spent years praying for. My beloved child, you have spent too much time listening to voices that were never meant to define you. Criticism, rejection, comparisons, painful memories, and old mistakes have spoken so loudly that they almost drowned out my voice. You have allowed the opinions of people to become mirrors through which you see yourself. But I never created you to live imprisoned by human approval. I never called you to spend your days proving your worth to people whose opinions change with every season. I called you to walk with confidence as my beloved child. Some of the doors that closed were never punishments. Some relationships ended because they could not walk into the future I prepared for you. Some delays happened because your soul needed to grow strong enough to carry what I have reserved for you. I am not hanging blessings in front of you just to torment you with waiting. I am protecting what belongs to you until the proper time arrives, because what I have truly destined for your life cannot be stolen, not even by your own weakness. I also want you to understand something that many people never learn. Silence is not proof that I have abandoned you. Some wounds cannot be healed through explanations. They are healed through my presence. There are moments when I answer you with quietness because I am doing a deeper work within your heart. I am teaching you to trust me beyond emotions, beyond visible results, and beyond circumstances that constantly change. You may feel that nothing around you has improved, but I can already see something beautiful taking place inside you. The things that once shattered you no longer control you. The words that once kept you discouraged for weeks are beginning to lose their power. The tears you once considered signs of weakness are becoming seeds that will produce strength, compassion, and wisdom. You may not fully recognize it today, but your roots are growing deeper than they have ever been before. And what I am preparing to show you next may explain why this season has felt so different from anything you have ever experienced. There is another truth I need you to hear today, my beloved child. The pressure you have been feeling lately is not always a sign that you are losing ground. Sometimes pressure increases because you are standing closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The enemy cannot cancel the plans I have written for your life, but it will do everything possible to convince you to walk away from them yourself. It whispers that you have waited too long, that you have prayed enough, that nothing will ever change, and that you should settle for a life far beneath what I prepared for you. But I have watched every tear you shed when no one else noticed. I have heard every prayer spoken through trembling lips. I have seen the moments when you smiled in public while carrying silent battles within your heart. Do not believe the lie that your waiting season has been wasted. Seeds do not break through the soil the day they are planted, yet growth is taking place where human eyes cannot see. In the same way, I have been working behind doors you cannot open, arranging circumstances you cannot control, and preparing opportunities you cannot yet imagine. Stay with me a little longer, because what seems hidden today will not remain hidden forever. My beloved child, comparison has quietly stolen your peace more times than you realize. You have looked at other people celebrating answered prayers while your own requests seemed suspended in silence. You have wondered why others appear to move forward while your journey feels slow and uncertain. Questions rise within you asking whether I love others more, whether you missed your opportunity, or whether you somehow disappointed me. But I need you to understand this clearly. I do not write identical stories for my children. Some people are called to short seasons of preparation, while others are entrusted with longer periods because the blessings they will carry require stronger foundations. What you call delay, I often call protection. There were doors you desperately wanted opened that would have wounded your heart. There were relationships you fought to preserve that could not walk into the future I planned for you. There were blessings you begged me for that would have overwhelmed you had I given them too soon. Trust me enough to believe that my timing is not designed to hurt you. It is designed to protect the purpose I placed inside you before the world ever knew your name. I also want you to guard your heart against distractions because not every distraction looks dangerous. Some distractions arrive dressed as success, comfort, busyness, or opportunities that appear harmless at first. They slowly consume your attention until days pass without prayer, weeks pass without seeking my presence, and months pass before you realize how distant you have become. The enemy understands that if it cannot destroy your destiny, it will attempt to redirect your focus. It wants you exhausted by chasing approval, recognition, and temporary achievements while neglecting the relationship that gives your soul lasting peace. But nothing this world offers can satisfy the emptiness that develops when you drift away from me. That restlessness you sometimes feel is not punishment. It is my gentle invitation calling you back into intimacy with me. Come sit with me again. Speak honestly about your fears, your disappointments, and your questions. You do not need polished words to approach me. I only desire your willingness, because there are answers waiting in my presence that cannot be discovered anywhere else. So today, my beloved child, I ask you not to surrender to weariness. Rest if you must. Cry if your heart feels overwhelmed. Sit quietly in my presence when you no longer know what to pray. But do not quit. There is a difference between resting and giving up. Rest allows me to renew your strength, restore your peace, and remind you that you are deeply loved. Giving up only convinces you to abandon the very promise you once prayed for with all your heart. I did not carry you through sleepless nights, painful disappointments, and lonely valleys simply to leave you standing at the edge of defeat. You have survived seasons you once believed would destroy you. I remained faithful then, and I remain faithful now. Hold tightly to my hand, even if all you have left is a small thread of hope, because what I want to reveal next may completely change the way you see your future and help you understand why this season has felt unlike any other you have ever known. My beloved child, there is something I have been waiting for you to understand, because the moment you truly grasp it, many of the fears that have controlled your heart will begin to lose their power. You have spent so much time focusing on what has not happened that you have almost forgotten how much I have already done. You look at the prayers still waiting for answers, the dreams that seem delayed, and the doors that remain closed. But I see the countless times I protected you from paths that would have stolen your peace. I remember the nights when you cried yourself to sleep and still found the strength to rise the next morning. I remember the moments when you felt completely alone. Yet I carried you through circumstances that should have overwhelmed you. If I remained beside you in your darkest valleys, why would I abandon you now when you are standing closer to a new season than ever before? Do not allow temporary disappointment to convince you that your story is ending. Some chapters feel painful because they are introducing you to a stronger version of yourself. one that can finally receive what you once prayed for without being destroyed by it. My beloved child, stop allowing your past to speak louder than your future. Too many of my children continue reliving old failures, painful betrayals, missed opportunities, and words spoken against them years ago. They carry memories like chains, believing they are defined by mistakes that I've already forgiven. But I did not create you to remain trapped in yesterday. I created you to move forward with confidence, knowing that my grace is greater than your regrets. The enemy constantly reminds you of who you used to be because it fears who you are becoming. It wants you to believe that you are unworthy, incapable, and permanently damaged. Yet I see something entirely different when I look at you. I see a heart that refused to stop loving despite being hurt. I see someone who kept praying even when heaven felt silent. I see a person who continued showing kindness while secretly carrying wounds no one else understood. Those experiences did not destroy you. They prepared you. They deepened your compassion, strengthened your character, and taught you to depend on me in ways comfort never could. One day you will look back and realize that even your most painful seasons were helping shape the testimony that will inspire others to keep believing. My beloved child, I do not want you to spend another day living as though you are merely trying to survive. I want you to wake up expecting my goodness. I want you to pray with confidence again. I want you to believe that joy is still possible, that peace can return, and that hope has not died simply because circumstances have not yet changed. You do not need to understand every detail of my plan in order to trust me. A child does not need to know every destination to safely walk while holding a loving father's hand. In the same way, I am asking you to trust my heart, even when you cannot trace my footsteps. Continue taking small steps of obedience. Continue thanking me before you see the answer. Continue speaking words of faith even when emotions tell you otherwise. There is power in remaining faithful during ordinary days because it proves that your relationship with me is built on trust rather than visible results. The breakthrough you desire is not only about receiving a blessing, it is about becoming someone whose faith remains steady regardless of changing seasons. And now, my beloved child, hear me clearly and hold these words close to your heart. Do not stop here. Do not become another person who turned back just moments before witnessing what I had been preparing all along. Let your story be different. Let it be said that even when your heart trembled, you continued believing. Even when tears blurred your vision, you kept walking. Even when answers delayed and doors remained closed, you chose to trust my promises instead of surrendering to fear. I am not simply preparing a temporary victory for you. I am transforming the way you see yourself, the way you trust, and the way you love. The season ahead is not about surviving another storm. It is about discovering the peace that comes from knowing you are deeply loved, fully known, and never abandoned. Stay close to me. Keep your heart open. Continue moving forward one faithful step at a time, because the page you thought was ending is actually the first page of a beautiful new beginning that I have been writing for you from the very beginning.